we are through the first month of the MLS Next Pro campaign. Tonight, match weekend 5 continues, and it's an Eastern Conference tilt we turn our attention to this evening. Coming to you from northwest of downtown Atlanta here at Fifth Third Bank Stadium in Kennesaw, Georgia. Atlanta United 2, fresh off its first victory of the year, look to keep the momentum going today against Chicago Fire 2. A matchup with plenty of intrigue coming up here on MLSNextPro.com as we take a look at the table thus far. Crown Legacy currently occupying that top spot, one of 4 teams in the league without a loss to its name. Despite losses in its last 2, Chicago Fire 2 remain in 6th. The win today could vault them to the top of the table. Atlanta United hoping to pick up a couple of spots with 3 more points this evening as well. Into the starting 11s tonight. First for the host, Atlanta United 2, guided by manager Steve Cook, who took the reins in February. The 22-year-old Brazilian Nicolas Firmino earns the starting nod today after a brace last weekend against Orlando City. MLS first team experience up and down this lineup. Vicente Reyes will be in goal. Tyler Young, the converted 10, starts at right back, where he leads the team in tackles and minutes played. As you take a look at some of the warm-ups here from Fifth Third Bank Stadium, it's going to be a beautiful night for soccer just northwest of downtown Atlanta. 65 degrees this evening. And there's our starting lineup for Atlanta United 2 this evening. Eric Lopez, a very capable option up front. He scored the penalty in the 25th minute against Orlando City B. Firmino, after his brace last weekend, he did that coming off the bench as well with some injury issues for Atlanta United. He slides into a starting role, surrounded by Brennan and Centeno there up front. And as noted, Reyes will be in goal for Atlanta United 2. Meanwhile, for the visiting Chicago Fire 2 this evening, a couple of changes from last week. Jeffrey Gall in net in place of Spencer Ritchie. Forward Misael Rodriguez anchors the front line. However, this week he's joined by Omari Glasgow and the former Loyola Chicago man Billy Hensey as well, as Chicago Fire 2 will come out in a 4-3-3. Lukovic Tyondie, the head man for Chicago Fire 2 in the white kits this evening. Steve Cook guides Atlanta in their home blacks. Austin Saini is our referee this evening, assisted by Rachel Smith, Jonathan Smith, and Kyle Johnston. This is a matchup with plenty of intrigue coming up here on MLSNextPro.com. We welcome you into the broadcast. AJ Ricketts here alongside you. Atlanta United 2, fresh off its first victory of the year, hoping to keep that momentum going. Chicago Fire 2, they've cooled since starting the season with 6 points in their first 2 matches, aiming to return to their winning form away from the comfortable confines of the Windy City here today. Should be a fun one. Glad you're with us tonight on MLSNextPro.com. Took a little bit for Atlanta United 2 to get into a rhythm this season. They looked very capable against Orlando City B last week. Chicago had their chances in the game against Philadelphia Union 2. Got away from them late, led for much of that match. It's shaping up to be an entertaining affair this evening from Kennesaw as we're underway. Atlanta controlling first possession and a throw-in from their back third here. Steve Cook, the head man for Atlanta United 2, joining after most recently serving as the academy director for the Seattle Sounders. More than 30 years of coaching experience. Here's Firmino's first touch as he pushes it near side to Eric Centeno. Firmino went down, or Lopez went down, excuse me. No whistle. Whistle there, however, on Luke Brennan on the far side. Chicago will look for its first spell of possession. We were talking with their head man, Luca Taillandier, about that match against Philadelphia, what his takeaways were. He said, look, we have technical players that sometimes can lack a little bit of the physicality. Philadelphia probably had a little bit more than us in general, but I'd say after watching the video, he said it was a fair game. We didn't do bad at all. We had situations. We weren't able to convert into big chances, but we were able to compete. Philadelphia, even though they had a tough start to their season, because they're a strong team, this team played a decent match. Awfully close to picking up 3 points. Game quickly flipped its script in the waning moments. And they're looking to make things happen in the early going. Sees a throw in. Atlanta scored in the 25th minute in their win against Orlando City from the penalty spot. Stoppage time in the first half when Firmino was able to score the goal, and then Firmino again scored in the 56th. Creative dribbling here to advance it. Attempted cross is sent out of play. It's the first corner kick earned by either side here in the 4th minute for Atlanta United 2. Eric Lopez trot over to take it for the home club. 21-year-old Paraguayan. Two goals, 1 assist this season for Lopez, who will initiate the corner kick. Outswinging ball. Brilliantly saved in net by Gall. Quick header, and he had to be quick with the reflexes. An early test for Gall, which is passed, but they'll set it up once more from the corner kick spot. Jeffrey Gall, the 30-year-old from Chicago, graduate of UVA. This kick towards the far post. Atlanta got a foot to it. Still in a dangerous area, chipped towards the far post, and Gall has no problem with that one. A much easier play to navigate than the last corner kick sequence. And here comes fire 2. Gall was in the right place at the right time there. Instantaneous reaction. Able to knock it away. Tyler Wolff and Jonathan Vijal not in the starting lineup this week for Atlanta United. Sael Rodriguez pushes it to Luke Perpa. Weighted ball to the near side. Now to play for a throw-in to Chicago. Oh, nope, this will be Atlanta. Justin Reynolds was getting set to throw in. Take another look at the quick reactions of Gall from that last sequence. Well done. Looked like Firmino was the one to get ahead to it. An early excellent opportunity for Atlanta United, thwarted. Aiden McFadden plays it back. Efrain Morales. There's Tyler Young, the converted midfielder, former 10 at Campbell. Vicente Reyes will get a touch here. Atlanta United looking to play out of the back. Noah Cobb. Cobb started at center back for the first team on March 26th to make his MLS debut. Has since started the last 3 matches for his MLS Next Pro counterpart. Chicago have to be careful here. That's well played by Gall. Now a foul going against Luke Brennan. Atlanta United started their season here on this pitch in a tough loss to New England Revolution, to a match in which Revs 2 led 3-0 at one point before a late flurry from the home side. Goals in the 84th and 90th minute made the final scoreline appear much more competitive. Since then, a shootout loss to Red Bulls 2. A 2-0 loss to Atlanta United 2. And then, of course, its first victory last week against Orlando City B. Asking Steve Cook what he expected of this match. He said, look, Chicago had a really good start. They lost that game last week, which I don't know, might be just a little bit of a blip. I think everybody's still working out what kind of game you're going to be playing. But he said, I think Chicago is, you would see from that city, pretty blue collar, hard working. They'll press hard, they'll run hard, they'll compete, and they'll defend really well. So they're a little bit bigger and stronger than I think most of the teams we're going to be playing. Fairly robust, were his words. He knows it'll be a challenge here today, even at home. Certainly a motivated Chicago squad. Oh, that was poorly played out of the back. A chance here. Atlanta will take advantage of it. An early goal in the 10th minute. Firmino finds the back of the net after the poor clearance from the box. It's Atlanta United 1, Chicago 0 in the 10th minute. Well, that quickly turned into a disaster. It was played back to Gall. And he simply did not put enough on that clearance. It was easily headed right back. And Firmino was able to put that in the nets on the run, time it up well. Atlanta United strikes first at home. Fourth goal of the season for Firmino. And his third in just over a week. 22-year-old who was originally a homegrown signing in the Revs system, and since transitioned to Atlanta, is really putting on a pace, a surge in his play. It's perhaps as impressive as any spell in his time with the club. He's already surpassed last year's total goals. He had 34 appearances last year, 3 goals, 1 assist. So in 5 matches this year, already with 4 goals. How about that for step up in production? Well, there was no denying him when he got to that spot. I give Gall credit for keeping this level with that early chance from Atlanta off the corner kick, but that time perhaps a sequence he would prefer to have back. Just far too much touch on it, did not clear the box. It was easily headed back to Firmino. McFadden. foul. It was Jay Fortune who went down. Lopez was looking to make a run. Instead, it's Centennial on the near side. Into a second white jersey. Lost possession. And a foul on Atlanta. Firmino scored a goal early in the season against Revs 2 on March 27th. Last week came off the bench and has just been electric since coming onto the pitch. This is chipped towards the 18. Atlanta able to recover before anyone from Chicago could find it. Well, tough spot in the corner, though. Might have gone off of Rodriguez, and it is a goal kick. This wasn't well played. Chicago trying to take advantage of a mistake now. Committing a foul first. Coach Ludo from Chicago was talking about what he's learned a month into the season. And the obvious is there. Look, they've certainly had a better start than last year. He said, we feel we're improving. We've addressed some weaknesses. We're able to compete and defend our side a little better than we were last year. We were giving up nearly 2 goals per game. He says it's a team with a little bit more experience and it's a little bit more mature. We'll see the level of maturity here, the level of resiliency after conceding an early goal. Foul here on Atlanta. His Fortune a little too physical. This is good here from Chicago. Play to the far side. Chance to load up a shot. That was blocked. Second effort has Glasgow go down, and then the shot is saved there by Reyes. Well done from Chicago, determined to put a shot on frame there. Lopez went down and was fouled. Here's another look. That was Rodriguez who wound up with it after Glasgow fell down right outside the 18. Rodriguez certainly a capable goal scorer. Flag is up. Brennan thought he might be in behind. Just a bit too early. 1-0 Atlanta here in the 16th minute. This broadcast presented by Piedmont. Glad to have you with us on MLSNextPro.com. AJ Ricketts here alongside you. Fifth Third Bank Stadium. Good intervention there from Noah Cobb. And the throw-in trickles out of play harmlessly. Bit of pressure here from Chicago. Ultimately, the foul negates any possible giveaway. As Kofi Tumasi fell to the turf. 26-year-old Ghana native. Reyes had to quickly try to get that to Cobb as pressure was coming from Rodriguez. He's continuing to make an impact here in the early going. This is chipped in, handled well. He is active here in the early going. Gall again having trouble clearing this off his line. Centeno steps to his right, fires wide. Some nervy moments from the 30-year-old keeper here in the first half. Centeno couldn't take advantage this time. Had two defenders cutting off an angle. Atlanta not wasting any time off those giveaways. Well off his line, Gall. Good decision there. Gall, born and raised in Chicago, played for 3 clubs in Sweden over the past 7 years, a total of 75 matches. Said when the opportunity came up to return to his hometown and play soccer, he said, look, this is a no-brainer to come home. Signed in January. He's on contract with Chicago through this season with club options for 2024 and 25. See if he can settle a bit more into this match. Fire-2 advancing well here. Rodriguez quickly stops. Now played back. Javier Casas trying to feed it inside. Too many defenders in the area. Let's see if Brennan can break away. He goes down. This will be the first booking of the match, as Atlanta United too is looking to advance on the counter. Charlie Ostrom brought Luke Brennan down and will receive the match's first yellow card.
20th minute, number 48, Charlie Ostrom.
Ostrom here, just a shove in the back of Brennan, who had plenty of green space to work with in front of him. Ostrom, the 23-year-old, out of the University of Washington, where he earned All-American honors as a Husky. First yellow card tonight. Chicago looking to settle. Reynolds centers. Purple plays far side. Glasgow. Goal in the 10th minute. Off a giveaway in the box. Our lone score here in the first 20-plus minutes. In Kennesaw. Chicago have shown positive signs here in the early going, however. Certainly a much different starting 11 for Fire-2 this week. No Alex Moniz in the starting lineup. Noah Hernandez, Harold Osorio, Wyatt Almsberg, Jonathan Deed on the bench to start here today. Here's Atlanta United 2, Firmino, the goal scorer. Looks to cross, earns a corner. Third corner of the match for Atlanta United 2 coming up here. Skill of McFadden to split a number of defenders and then find Firmino on the near side. Aiden McFadden, the Notre Dame product, weaving himself in between 3 defenders. So the third corner kick. This one towards the far post. Punched away by Gall. Now a quick turn. And a foul call just outside the edge. And a set piece upcoming here for Atlanta United 2. In a potentially dangerous location. That was Centeno that went down. Luke Perpa looks befuzzled by that assessment. There's Perpa in defense. So Eric Lopez will take the set piece. Remember, early in this match, Atlanta nearly scored on a corner kick. Header from Firmino went right to Jeffrey Gall. Lopez lofts it. Header is over the netting here and into the first row. Ultimately, nothing doing from that scenario. Good play in the midfield to earn it back. Well-weighted ball, just a bit too much pace on it there for Atlanta United 2, who was quickly looking to strike off the giveaway. Now Chicago Fire on the far side. Glasgow creatively advancing. Went to the turf after it was partially deflected away from him. Casas pokes it back out to the far side. Good turn here, Glasgow dispossessed. Brennan wins that. Here's Brennan striding forward for Atlanta. Waiting for help. Good interplay. Firmino's ball is too heavy. And will trickle out. Cobb. And a foul on Chicago. Atlanta United, too, without a couple of players this evening. Justin Garza is still recovering from that ACL injury. Jonathan Vijal, and who Firmino replaced last week, is out with that foot injury. Aymar also out, the hamstring. Adeniyi. Concussion protocols. Take a second look at that foul here. Justin Reynolds bowling over Firmino there. Lopez. Lopez and Centeno both stand around the ball here. It'll be Lopez. Line drive. Caught. Handled by Gall. Oriel will go to the near side. Justin Reynolds, the 19-year-old. is played. That'll be a foul against Atlanta. Chicago, I beg your pardon. It's a great ball from the back from Vicente Reyes. Brennan did very well to bring that in. However, a bit too much traffic on the opposite side. Good here from Atlanta. Tyler Young able to stop it before the end line and earn a corner kick. Tyler Young, the 22-year-old right back who leads the team in minutes played, the 36th overall pick of the 2023 draft. Converted to the back line after earning Big South Offensive Player of the Year honors. He saw his burst of speed there and willingness to get into the attacking third. He earns his team a corner here in the 29th minute. Lopez sends it in. Marked well. Back towards the sideline. Here's Bill Hensey. Starting lineup today. Spent the last 4 years at Loyola Chicago. Conference honors with the Ramblers. Glasgow. Now on the near side. Hensey. Shot blocked before it could even advance, and that hit the official. This will be a dead ball over to Atlanta. Players for Chicago with 1 goal apiece this year. It's a bit of a contrast from Atlanta United 2 situation at the moment, which is a recent development, assuredly, with Firmino's goal-scoring prowess. It hasn't quite developed in a similar fashion for Chicago Fire 2 thus far. Remember, Jackson Conway's on loan with Phoenix Rising this year. Traeger, he had 8 goals last year. No longer with the club at the moment. Chicago Fire 2. There's an argument to be had about the pros and cons of the versatility of attacking numbers versus having a goal-scoring threat that has differentiated itself to a team's name. Let's take another look at that foul. ID on the back heel. And second man went down for Atlanta. Morales. Here's Fortune. Surge past Glasgow. And a foul. Fortune made his MLS debut against Charlotte FC in mid-March. Became the youngest Trinidad and Tobago national team player to do so. Reminder, this broadcast presented by Burnt Hickory Brewery. Here on MLSNextPro.com tonight. Yeah, Fortune received his first senior team call-up actually a couple of years ago, January 2021, ahead of a friendly against the United States. Proudly been representing his country for the last number of years. Here's Brennan. Can he get a cross in? That time, but yet another corner kick upcoming here for Atlanta United 2. It's the 5th corner one for Atlanta United too. Now we're back. Apologies for that hiccup. Looks like we're all good. Keep rolling here. 1-0 to Atlanta. Half-hour plus in here at Fifth Third Bank Stadium. Lone goal thus far coming in the 10th minute. Nick Firmino, the assist from Brennan. Just .15 expected goals from Chicago here in the first half. It's a 5-4 shot advantage for Atlanta. Really fairly even in a number of the statistical departments here today. The scoreline reads 1-0 to Atlanta United 2. Glasgow. Keep it from that sideline. This cross is well off the mark. Perhaps could have done better there. Glasgow, 10 caps, 6 goals internationally for Guyana. His 3rd start of the season tonight. Last year, 5 goals and 4 assists in 15 appearances. They're very much intrigued by this young 19-year-old. Sebastian Pelzer, Chicago Fire FC technical director, said he's a winger. Quick winger who has the quality to perhaps make an impact with the first team in the coming seasons. See how often we continue to hear Glasgow's name tonight and how it impacts the proceedings. Just over 10 minutes left here in the first half. That pass with no intended target. Atlanta with certainly more concrete chances here today, but hasn't felt as if Chicago has been completely out of the run of play here. Looking for a bit more creativity in the final third. And final pass. Last bit of distribution. Atlanta have been compact. Made it somewhat difficult here for Chicago. Purple couldn't handle that. Pass to him. Glasgow shielded from the ball by Twumasi, who was fouled. Twumasi leads MLS Next Pro in passes intercepted this season, signed in January. Reyes. All right, to his counterpart. Kendall Burks. Luca Purpa, who spent last year at Hartford Athletic. Glasgow looks to center it. A chance here, perhaps. Deflected and saved by Reyes. That's the best look thus far. It was Billy Hensey who turned and looked to put a shot on net. And Reyes didn't have to do too much there. Great challenge at the final moment to perhaps slow down the pace of that ball. That is better from Chicago. Hence, he only played 6 minutes last week against Union 2. Throughout his collegiate career at Loyola Chicago, 27 goals, 24 assists. That assist mark was good for third in school history, as this will go over to Chicago Fire too. There's Purpa with another touch. Purpa, 3 assists this season. In 55 matches in the USL for Hartford Athletic, he had 1 assist. He already has 3 this year. Purpa with possession here, trying to thread it inside. And now Reynolds to throw. Glasgow. 3 black jerseys around him. Looks to earn a corner kick here. First one for Chicago this evening. There have been 5 for Atlanta, correspondingly. Low ball, deflected, headed, just tipped over the bar. Well done in net from Vicente Reyes. Chicago nearly struck there. Charlie Austri got ahead to it. Took an initial touch here, and then Ostrom was right outside the 6, and Reyes had to tap it over to be sure. We'll do it again. Second corner kick. Much more juice on that. Chased into the corner and out of play. Fire 2 making sure that Reyes is more than a spectator here throughout the first 45. He's had to be sharp to help ensure this 1-0 scoreline for his home side this evening. But a better brand of chances starting to be created by Chicago. This sent to the far post. Glasgow can't get ahead to it. It'll fall to Reynolds. Reynolds again. Sends a cross in. Nobody initially on the receiving end. Now another ball is out of play. McFadden. Chicago bringing a bit of pressure here and a handball. Fire 2 want a yellow. Nothing more than a free kick. Consternation from the Chicago side. Fire. Thought that was a bit unnatural.
Atlanta United 2 yellow card in the 42nd minute. Number 35 of Johnny Fortune.
And that is going to be a yellow card for Jay Fortune. Second yellow of the match issued. Well, this is settled. Glasgow quickly fire. This is wide left. So as he continues to try to assert himself offensively here. And the ball at his feet. Honestly, that was not a bad effort, all things considered. Planted from where he was. Glasgow's third start of the season tonight. Good contingent of Atlanta United 2 supporters on hand in Kennesaw this evening. Great night for soccer. Chicago looking to level. Support coming in from the back line here now. Reynolds. Glasgow looking for it right back. Sass. Eric Leonard. Perpa. A great ball forward that was handled at the final moment by Morales. It looked as if for a moment Lopez might have snuck in behind. That would have been beautifully done by Perpa if that connection was made there. But Chicago's still not done threatening just yet. Perpa looks to fire, took a deflection, and easily rolls to Reyes. This broadcast tonight presented by Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. As we approach the 45th minute at Fifth Third Bank Stadium. This foul will go against Atlanta. Brennan, the guilty party. Timeout. 18-year-old academy product. Chicago plays far side, cross it in. Dangerous in the middle. Chicago wants a handball. Nothing is given. They're pleading for a foul or a handball, one of the two. Casas went down. Just 1 minute of stoppage time coming up here. Perpa stands on the ball.
Ladies and gentlemen, the fourth official has indicated there will be a minimum of
initially headed by Atlanta. Still with fire two here. Perpa can't be first to the ball here. It's Firmino with it. In the final moments of the first half, he plays it to Brennan on the far side. Atlanta pushing forward here. Brennan. Off his chest, Brennan goes down. And a whistle and a yellow card will be issued to Brennan.
Atlanta United 2 yellow card in the 45th minute, number 7, Luke Brennan.
So perhaps trying to draw a foul. Instead, Brennan earns himself a yellow. Just a couple seconds left here in the first half. Leonard will play it near side. Oriel. He can't track it down. And that will do it for the first half here in Kennesaw. Well, Atlanta United 2 takes advantage of a costly Chicago Fire 2 giveaway in their own box. It was Nicholas Firmino, who is as hot as any player right now in MLS Next Pro action. He slots home his third goal in less less than 2 weeks of play. And at the half, it's Atlanta United 2-1, Chicago Fire 2-0 here at Fifth Third Bank Stadium in Kennesaw, Georgia, here on MLSNextPro.com. Friday night, we had 2 matches, both 1-0 victories for the road sides. Match day 5 kicked off in New England. In the 72nd minute, Revs 2 Santiago Suarez committed a foul in the box against Red Bulls 2. What was really a thrilling match up in the Northeast at Gillette Stadium. As we take a look at the highlights here, here's that play just referenced. Thiago Suarez committing the foul in the box, which led to a penalty. Oladayo Thomas stepped in and connected from the spot. That's 2 straight 1-0 wins for Red Bulls 2, who jump to 4th in the East after those pair of victories, looking much more competent in the last 2 matches. And really, they've grinded their way to those 1-0 wins. They have not been the prettiest of affairs, but finding a way, especially against the Revs side that was ranked 2nd in the East in the table coming into that match. A very impressive win for New York Red Bulls 2. Meanwhile, in the West, Real Monarchs and North Texas SC, well, they appear to be headed to a shootout. At the 90th, +5, Monarchs' Moses Nyman from 23 yards on a beautiful free kick. He earns the 3 points. Both of Monarchs' wins have been 1-0 road results. They return home to face Portland next Sunday. Fun scenes around the league to start match day 5. This is the only match here on a Saturday evening throughout MLS Next Pro. Plenty of action taking place, of course, tomorrow, and we'll be sure to spotlight that throughout the course of this broadcast. That's what we've seen so far in match day 5. Now, let's look back at the best of what we saw from match day 4 in this week's installment of the Spotlight.
One month into the MLS Next Pro season, and the spotlight seems to be getting even brighter. Here we round up all of the players who stood out following match day 4, starting with the coveted MLS Next rising star of match day 4, Philadelphia Union 2's David Vasquez. The 17-year-old's 81st minute goal not only gave Union 2 their first win of the season, but it also made history in the process. Vasquez will go down in the record books for scoring the 1,000th goal in MLS Next Pro regular season history. The Philadelphia Academy product already made an impact with the U.S. men's youth national team and is certainly poised to have a similar impact on Union 2 this season. The MLS Next Pro Player of the Week for match day 4 is a player who helped his team score for. LA Galaxy 2's Aaron Bibu put on a hat-trick performance in their win over a top 10 Whitecaps FC2 team. His 3-goal showing was the first of the season and the first since August 7th of last year by Schneider Borgelin of Inter Miami FC2. The former hat-trick star is now a first-team contracted player. And on a week where there were plenty of goals to choose from, the best goal of match day 4 goes to Sporting Kansas City 2's Lucas Rosa. He beat out his teammate Sebastian Cruz with a strike from well beyond the 18-yard box that sailed past 10 Real Monarchs defenders and their keeper. His 57% share of the poll marks the highest percentage of the best goal of match day votes to date. The team of match day 4 honor goes to a very deserving Austin FC2 team, a team who played 2 games in 5 days and posted 2 clean sheets and 5 goals. Verdos continued their excellent MLS Next Pro season debut by showing strength on both sides. Damian Lass and the defense have only allowed 3 goals on the season, and offensively, Verdos can score and do so quickly. They managed 3 goals in 5 minutes against North Texas this week and 2 in 22 versus St. Louis. Their 3-game win streak has rocketed them to the top of the Western Conference standings. Congrats to all of our players who made it in the spotlight this week. We'll see you right back here for Who Stood Out following match day 5.
how good has Austin FC looked to start this season. Certainly deserving of those Team of the Week honors. Right here at Fifth Third Bank Stadium, it's a 1-0 advantage to the home side, Atlanta United 2. After 45 minutes of play, both teams in the locker rooms. We continue on here on MLSNextPro.com. This is the lone Saturday game on the slate, but plenty on the dockets for tomorrow all throughout the day for your Sunday viewing pleasure. It all gets started at 2 p.m. Eastern. Crown Legacy and Philadelphia Union 2 at home against the Crew 2 in Toronto, respectively. Crown Legacy, of course, at the top of the Eastern Conference table at the moment. Action continues all the way until 10 p.m. Eastern with that nightcap with Vancouver and Minnesota United FC2 as well. A fun day of action on MLSNextPro.com and MLS Season Pass on Apple TV. All right, first half highlights and stats coming up soon, but first let's meet one of the top players to watch in MLS Next Pro, Colorado's Daniel Chacon.
Hola, ¿qué tal? Bienvenidos a la segunda temporada de MLS Next Pro. Soy Samara Pérez. El día de hoy nos acompaña un seleccionado nacional de Costa Rica y uno de los jugadores a seguir en esta temporada de MLS Next Pro. Él es Daniel Chacón de Colorado Rapids 2. Daniel, bienvenido y muchas gracias por estar con nosotros el día de hoy.
Bueno, muchas gracias a ustedes por el espacio y bueno, feliz de estar compartiendo acá un rato con ustedes para que la gente también conozca un poco más de quién soy y bueno, un poco de mi vida.
Claro, ya que mencionas eso, queremos conocer más sobre ti. Sabemos que llegar a ser un futbolista profesional no es nada fácil. ¿Cuáles han sido algunos de los retos a los que te has enfrentado y que has podido superar en este camino?
Bueno, creo que al principio de mi carrera, en la primera división de Costa Rica, no tuve mucha regularidad. Pasó toda una temporada que solo jugué un partido y después de esa temporada pasé un año completo sin jugar. Entonces fue una prueba de paciencia, de perseverancia, de trabajo, que creo que ha sido como mi principal virtud, más allá de cualquier argumento futbolístico. Entonces creo que la paciencia y pues la resiliencia para poder sobreponerse de momentos complicados creo que ha marcado mucho parte de mi carrera.
Daniel, formaste parte de la Selección Nacional de Costa Rica. ¿Cómo te sentiste cuando recibiste esa convocatoria?
Bueno, muy feliz. Había tenido la oportunidad de compartir con la selección, pero no en convocatorias oficiales, hasta que llegó me parece que la penúltima fecha eliminatoria para el Mundial de Qatar, que tuve la oportunidad de ya estar con la selección y debutar en el Estadio Azteca contra México. Creo que para mí y para prácticamente cualquier jugador, creo que el orgullo más grande que existe es ponerse la camisa de la selección y poder jugar partidos de ese nivel.
¿Y cómo ha sido tu experiencia con la selección nacional de tu país?
Creo que hasta el momento todo ha sido muy positivo. He tenido, como le digo, la experiencia, la oportunidad de jugar partidos muy importantes, de mucho nivel, en contra de muy grandes jugadores, ya sea contra México, también tuve la oportunidad de jugar contra Canadá en las eliminatorias, contra Estados Unidos. Entonces creo que esto te da una experiencia y te da una confianza diferente para afrontar los nuevos retos que vienen en su carrera con más seguridad y con más optimismo, habiéndose probado uno a estos niveles.
Daniel, casi 40 jugadores de MLS Next Pro han firmado un contrato con un equipo de Major League Soccer. Cuando escuchas esto, ¿cómo te motiva para jugar con Rapids 2?
Bueno, creo que esa es la principal, o mi principal enfoque de estar acá. Creo que el paso acá por Colorado Rapids 2, espero que sea de mucho provecho, de mucho aprendizaje, pero también ojalá tener la aspiración de salir de acá lo más rápido posible y aspirar siempre a lo más alto. Creo que sería un error estar conformándose con el lugar donde usted está, y creo que siempre es bueno y habla bien de usted el querer más. Entonces me lo tomo con mucho positivismo el paso por acá, pero claramente teniendo en mente un contrato con el primer equipo y poder competir en MLS.
Y por último, ¿qué es lo que más esperas de tu primera temporada con tu equipo en MLS Next Pro?
Bueno, creo que en mi primera temporada no solo se resume a lo futbolístico, es mi primera vez lejos de mi país, en una nueva experiencia. Entonces creo que esto me va a ayudar mucho para madurar como persona, como jugador, y claramente estar en un ambiente nuevo, compitiendo a un nivel o de una forma diferente a la que lo hacía, y me parece que el equipo está muy bien, que queremos pelear por todo lo que se pueda, ojalá pues quedar campeones, ¿por qué no? O sea, creo que siempre hay que optar por lo más alto, y bueno, yo estoy muy emocionado por esta temporada que está empezando.
Y nosotros emocionados con tenerte. Daniel, te deseamos todo el éxito en tu primera temporada. Muchas gracias por platicar con nosotros.
No, gracias a ustedes por el tiempo.
Y gracias a todos por sintonizar. Soy Samara Pérez. Nos vemos en la próxima.
Samara, Daniel, thanks so much. Always enjoy watching that. Welcome back to Kennesaw, Georgia at Fifth Third Bank Stadium. Atlanta United 2, Chicago Fire 2. It's a 1-0 match as we're getting it set to begin the second half in just a few moments. First, let's take a look at the first half highlights. 15 combined shots between these two teams. An entertaining first 45 minutes here at Fifth Third Bank Stadium. So take a look on this picturesque evening in Northwest Georgia of how the first 45 minutes took place here on MLSNextPro.com. Chicago coming off a tough 2-1 loss to Philadelphia Union, a match in which they led. Here was an early chance for Atlanta off the header. Great reactions there from Jeffrey Gall as Firmino nearly had a quick goal. He would not be denied a bit later. Here's that sequence, which Gall would probably like to have back. Just a miscommunication there. Firmino immediately in the right spot to slot it home. You see the frustration from Gall. Something went haywire there, and Firmino has his third goal in 2 matches. He is on fire. That's the lone goal of the first half. Still plenty more action in the first 45. Rodriguez put one on frame not that long later. Centeno found himself just inside the 18, was wide to the right. Glasgow was very involved in the first half. That time, Billy Hensey off the turn. Probably got to give a lot of credit there to Noah Cobb, who influenced that shot a bit. It's another good chance. Vicente Reyes was ready for it, tipping it over the bar. 19-year-old Atlanta United Academy product. There were nice sequences in the first half for him. Chicago would continue to try to threaten some well-developed sequences. None could come to fruition, however. You see Glasgow again, just a bit mishit on his final opportunity of the first half. Too many jerseys in the area for Chicago to do anything there. As you take a look at the first half stats, 15 combined shots. Chicago out shooting Atlanta United 10-5. A pair of yellow cards issued in that first half. Atlanta with 5 corners. Possession advantage to Chicago, but score advantage to Atlanta United 2 here, as we're just about set to get going with the second half here at Fifth Third Bank Stadium. In Chicago and the Road Whites, Atlanta and the Home Blacks. Let's get the second half underway.
Chicago Fire 2 subs exiting the match, number 32, Misael Rodriguez, entering the match, number 38, Alex Moniz. Also exiting the match, number 27, Kendall Burks. Entering the match, number 52, Richard Fleming. And also exiting the match, number 37, Javier Casas. Entering the match, number 45, Harold Osorio.
So as you hear in the background there, a number of substitutions there for Chicago as play on the out of our purview on our screen at the moment. There we are. So Alex Moniz is in for Misael Rodriguez. Harold Osorio in for Javier Casas. And Richard Fleming replaces Kendall Burks along the back line for Chicago Fire. So Coach Ludo going to his bench to start the second half here. Fleming, an 18-year-old, heading to University of Wisconsin in the fall. Here's a nice run being made by Moniz, who just entered. A heavy touch, not able to save it along the end line. Moniz, the 20-year-old, who scored in the season opener against Inter Miami 2. Also seen some MLS action this year, played 9 minutes against FC Cincinnati on March 19th. And then Osorio is the third sub, the San Salvador native, who's coming off his first career start. No subs for Atlanta. Chicago wins possession there on the far side. Glasgow shifted over to the right wing. Chicago with something developing here. Moniz, who just entered, was looking to pass. Here's a shot taken and well wide from Oriel. He's upset with himself. Sergio Oriel grew up in Chicago, running around McKinley Park. Oriel, a long-time Chicago Fire fan. He was talking about one of his first trips to see a game. He said, I went to a match. I was going to stay until after the game to say hi to the players, go get my jersey signed by Sean Johnson, the goalkeeper. Walked up. The lady turned around and kind of elbowed me in the face. went back to my parents crying. Then he said he still got a picture with Johnson, so it was all okay in the end. And then before he knew it, he was contributing at the U14 level with the club. It's a nice journey for him from the stands of Chicago to being a part of the organization. Now this is taken away by Lopez. Can Atlanta do with it here? It's pushed to the far side. Firmino wants another. Firmino, no! He was that close to a brace. He looked destined for it. Gall came off his line and certainly influenced that. Look at all the space Firmino has on that far side. Gall charging up and just a bit too strong on the attempt was Firmino. nearly had his 4th goal in a pair of matches. And again, that opportunity coming off a giveaway in the back half. And Atlanta surging forward in the ensuing moments. Monis here. Sprays it to the far side. Played back into the box. Monis wants it back. Being pinballed around. Here's a shot, and that's handled by Reyes. Well beyond the 18. Now Atlanta moving here once again. Firmino. Here he is. Too strong. How quickly does Atlanta United 2 get from one end to the other? This game being played at a fun pace for a neutral in the first 5 minutes of the second half. This is settled by Chicago here. Played to the near side. Monis, can he get a shot off? Just misses that post. Nobody on the other end of it. Alice Monis has quickly been a spark off the bench. Forcing Tyler Young to do some contentious moments here. Monis. Osorio looks to switch. There's Eric Leonard. Scored on a set piece against Toronto. Well-weighted ball down the near side. Monis yet again taps it to the center and misplayed. Another opportunity goes awry for Chicago. Billy Hensey could not strike that with the right pace. He might have had a path towards net along that left post. Just gets under it. Perhaps would like that one back. No whistle here again, right back to Chicago. Perpa. Sprays it to the center. Took a deflection. Spiraling towards the corner flag. Monis saves it. Ostrom. Muriel could not keep possession. Atlanta looking to counter in the other way. Fortune. Here's teammates calling for it. Firmino plays it to the far side. Lopez goes down. And there's no whistle. Monis going to Glasgow. That's a good switch. Glasgow striding forward. The dummy. And nobody on the other end of it. Chicago have nearly doubled the amount of shot attempts Atlanta have put up today. There are some opportunities that they have let slip as well. Trying to replicate the success of the first 2 weeks of the season. Gall will just send it on the ground out of play. Firmino quickly triggered it in. Back and forth with Lopez. Morales. Long switch. Flag is up. It was interesting on the coach's call with Steve Cook earlier this week. You know, this is year 2 of the league. One with so much excitement, expansion, of course, still coming in the years to come. A number of new teams this year, but there was a lot of discussion on what the personality, the character of the league would be, what sort of style it would see. And Steve Cook was talking about that. On his coach's call, he said, look, I knew coming in it was going to be a way more tactical league and way more technical, and way more intelligent than people may think, more reminiscent of MLS and perhaps USL. Players younger, high-level soccer, physicality. Maybe the other leagues have older, stronger players. But this is a league with as much technical skill as any for players looking to find their pathway to the pros. Right now his team looking to hold on to a 1-0 advantage. Starting to face a flurry of pressure. Here's a shot from outside the 18, and Reyes is all over it. No problem with that one, but still for Chicago supporters, this is becoming an encouraging spell of play. It has not been one with the moment of brilliance yet needed to level the score at 1 apiece. Lopez playing a little further back, able to step up into space. Now Firmino with it. Always so creative with possession. He pushes it near side. This shot towards the far post. And it trickles out of play. Well crossed by Centeno. Trying to find Lopez or Firmino along that far post. Just a bit too heavy. Firmino loved the thought. He turned around to his teammates. So here's a turnover off the slip. Firmino didn't know that Hensey was right beside him. A little bit over a half hour for Chicago to work with in their efforts to perhaps force a shootout. If not taking advantage. Perpa gets it back. Here's Perpa just outside the 6. Took a deflection off of Reyes, off of his chest. And now Atlanta draws a foul. But Perpa just blasted that towards net, and Reyes was right where he needed to be. guarding that near side post. Takes it off the chest. And his back line there to recover from that point on. Vicente Reyes has been stout in goal for Atlanta United 2 this evening. Get the sense Chicago nowhere near being done generating chances just yet. Reyes may need to complete more of those kind of sequences before this one sees the final whistle. Atlanta once more. Lopez still with it, accelerating. Lopez! Oh, it's parried away. Gall just got to it. It was nearly a brilliant run and finish from Eric Lopez. That close to a 2-0 scoreline. Gall, full extension, keeps it at 1-0.
Atlanta United 2 substitutions.
And Atlanta United 2 will go to the bench for the first time today.
The match, number 24, Noah Cobb. Entering the match, number 5, Tony Tiente.
Tony Tiente comes in for Noah Cobb.
Exiting the match, number 35, Johnny Fortune. Entering the match, number 18, Alan Carlton.
And Alan Carlton will enter for Johnny Fortune. So Atlanta with their first 2 subs. Remember, Chicago went with 3 out of the locker room. Whistle on Atlanta United 2 here. Tony Tiente, 10 starts last year, 3 matches played this season, no goals or assists for the Atlanta United defender. Alan Carlton, the 18-year-old from Powder Springs, Georgia, academy product. Fresh legs for Chicago certainly seem to give them a spark to start this half. Here's a yellow card given to Centeno on the tackle. Second booking for Atlanta United. That was a quick whistle in booking for Centeno, the 2022 MLS draft pick by Atlanta. Chopping challenge. Monis, who's been so active since coming on here to start the second half, needing a moment to get back on his feet. These certainly moments where the 15 or 30-second rule for getting up, not really needing to be assessed by the referee. Chicago certainly trying to play as quickly as possible. Monis just needed a moment. The set piece, got to head to it. Not enough pace to really challenge Reyes. This broadcast presented by Piedmont. 1-0 to Atlanta United 2 here in the 65th minute. AJ Ricketts alongside you here on MLSNextPro.com. A pleasure to have you with us tonight. Northwest of downtown Atlanta. Two fun clubs battling it out right now. Firmino going to go through. Go straight to Chicago. Osorio does well there. Earn himself space. Oriel. Hensey goes far side. Chicago threatening once more. It's Hensey. Perpa trying to find his way to the ball. Flicked in once more. Headed away by Atlanta. Chicago bringing numbers and pressure forward. Lopez in Atlanta United 2 perhaps look to counter now. Brennan runs to the ball. Here's Firmino. The goal scorer today goes near side. Centeno dancing. Flicks it to the far post. A header and a save from Gall. That was straight to him on a hop. Easily dealt with. Creatively built up. Nothing in the ends. Atlanta United 2 certainly not settling with the scoreline. Pushing for a second if the opportunity presents itself on the counter. Brennan here, quickly into space. Now Lopez fires, it's deflected and out of play. Corner kick to Atlanta United 2. Chicago is vulnerable in some of these situations here if they're giving it away in the midfield. Time Reynolds turning. The ball finds his back and allows a chance for his teammates to retreat and mark up defensively. Corner kick here in the 67th. In swinging ball, no problem for Reyes. Excuse me, Gall, of course. As he triggers it forward. Looking for Glasgow on the run. Reyes came off his line to help. Glasgow, nearly 70 minutes in, still making strong, speedy runs on distribution from the back. What a motor. Now Monis. He's trying to play Ostrom. Firmino. Well played on the run. And Leonard will settle with sending it out of play.
Chicago Fire 2 substitution in the 69th minute. Exiting the match, number 35, Sergio Origel. Entering the match, number 46, Mateo Kidd.
So Mateo Kidd will enter for Oriel for Chicago Fire, their fourth sub. Kidd signed with Chicago last March. Fire 2 once again threatening. Ostrom in the corner. Difficult place here. Trying to earn a corner kick. Does not. A new sub for Chicago. Mateo Kidd, a product of St. Louis University. Was brought to the attention of the organization by first team assistant coach, former Fire player C.J. Brown. recently played in the NISA in 2021. Monis can connect with Kidd there. '71st minute. A lone goal in this match coming way back in the 10th. Jeffrey Gall still probably wishing he had back. No good to Roux on that moment, though. He has moved forward and done all he can in the moment since. Hoping his team can get him one back. This one headed and nearly an opportunity for Chicago just outside of the reach of Hensey. It flickered off the head of his teammate, and he had to quickly react to try to direct that one forward. Instead, got under it. Looked like it brushed off of Leonard. Would have been a high degree of difficulty. Still a moment that elicits a gasp and a sigh from Chicago faithful. Glasgow, pressured by McFadden, and it'll be a throw in here to Atlanta. McFadden will earn some cheers from the Atlanta faithful. Brennan went down, fouled by Glasgow, earns a yellow card. Glasgow goes into the book here in the 73rd.
Chicago fired 2 yellow card in the 72nd minute, number 55, Omari Glasgow.
Glasgow 5 goals, 4 assists, and 15 appearances last year. He's been very involved today. Some frustration apparent there. Chicago actually with 1.64 expected goals here this evening to Atlanta's 1.35. Well-weighted ball, too strong though. Gall able to come off his line once more. 19-11 advantage in shots taken for Chicago. Whistle on Tiente. Given away though. Chicago from distance. Goodness, Osorio. Let it go. Did it to his right, got an angle. Harold Osorio was trying to level this up nearly 25 yards. Osorio joined Chicago last August. Well, here's Atlanta now. Pressing for a second. Lopez with Leonard matched on to him. Lopez just loses it. Played by Leonard in Chicago. Looking to quickly move the other way. Monis once more, dribbles towards the center and sprays it. Centering cross. Goal kick, Atlanta. Billy Hensing doing all that he can. folks a quick warning about the time it took to set that one up from head referee Austin Ciani.
Chicago Fire 2 substitution in the 76th minute. Exiting the match, number 55, Omari Glasgow. Entering the match, number 58, Michael Nessie.
So Glasgow's busy day is complete. Michael Nessie enters for the Chicago forward. "17-year-old Chicago native." This broadcast presented by DoubleTree Suites by Hilton. As time continues to tick down on Chicago's effort to knot the score up. 77th minute. Nessie, who enters for Glasgow, just 17 minutes played this season. Now a yellow will be given to Firmino. Won't get away with that.
Atlanta United 2, yellow card in the 77th minute, number 8, Nick Firmino.
Second look. Got him with the left hand to the face there as his back was turned. Osorio still on the ground. Firmino goes into the book. Centeno and Brennan also have been given yellows for Atlanta United too. Glasgow and Ostrom for Chicago Fire. It's providing an opportunity for a hydration break for the teams as well. Looks like Osorio needing a little bit of attention. Not sure if there's blood in the area or not. Certainly something of the matter here. Osorio would, of course, prefer to get this match going as quickly as possible, but have to get the blood or situation attended to first before he can continue his endeavors to help his team tie the score. Fortunately, looks like he is okay. I have a little plug in the nose there. It's a hand from Firmino. All is well. For Osorio, made his first cap for the El Salvador senior national team last November against Nicaragua. Back underway. This falls to Leonard. Trying to find someone in the box, and instead he finds Reyes. Reyes has been stout today. Made his debut with Atlanta United in September of 2020. 9 caps as well for the Chilean U20 team. Entering tonight's game, he played in 3 matches, conceded 6 goals. Last year, 36 goals conceded in 15 matches. Would love a clean sheet here tonight. Has certainly earned one. Gall cannot find Ostrom there, playing from the back. Brennan plays it forward. Gallo's there. Tiente involved on the development. Leonard, former Butler man, only played in one match thus far this year. Kidd settles. Trying to find Kidd on a near side run. Great speed from Twumasi. He's been playing in Romania for the last couple of years. Strum. Richard Fleming. Atlanta United in no hurry on these throw-ins. After the struggles to start the season, Atlanta United is perhaps a few minutes away from 6 points in 2 matches. That was a beautiful move by Brennan. He's into space, he'll fire, and that was tipped by Gall. Corner kick. You heard the oohs and ahs from the crowd as Brennan dummied that, turned, and had himself an open field in front of him. He's able to get to the hip of Leonard, and all of a sudden he had 10 yards on him. Like Centeno was pointing towards an area he wouldn't have minded receiving it at. Brennan went towards goal. Who knows where that goes if Gall doesn't get a hand to it. This corner high, arcing. Headed out of play off of Chicago. Through 3 matches, Atlanta had garnered just 1 point. A shootout loss against Red Bulls 2. Header here. Oh, there's the second goal, and that surely will ensure a victory for Atlanta United 2. And 6 points in 2 matches after the sluggish start to the season. Atlanta United 2 looks like a different team the past 2 weeks. They score off the corner kick here. They nearly had a goal off a corner in the opening moments of this match. This time they connect. Lopez sent it in. And it looks like it was Firmino with the header. His brace for the 2nd straight game. Who else? Four goals in 2 matches. He is on a tear and has announced himself to the league.
Atlanta United 2 goal in the 84th minute. Once again, number 8, Nick Firmino.
What a match and what a 7-day stretch for Nick Firmino. 22-year-old. broadcast presented by Truist. 2-0 to Atlanta, here in the 86th. Crowd would certainly not mind another. Lopez felt he was fouled, just stopped his efforts. Firmino has been on the bench at the MLS level, but not played yet. Last year, 3 goals in the final season of the USL for Atlanta United 2. He has 4 goals now in 2 matches, 5 goals on the season. He's going to be raising eyebrows all around the league. Did it in multiple ways today, taking advantage of a giveaway, a confident strike, and then just showcasing his physicality, his ability to find the ball. He directed it home for the second. Needed a moment after that pass.
Atlanta United 2 substitution in the 88th minute. Exiting the match, number 21, Eric Centeno. Entering the match, number 11, David Mejia.
David Mejia in for Eric Centeno. 3rd match played of the season for Mejia. Centeno, the 2022 draft pick, his day complete. Nice. Slide there, the final moment by Morales to ensure that cross couldn't get through. There will certainly be some frustration to this one upon reflection for Chicago. 21 shots, 7 on target, unable, unless something changes in the final few minutes, unable to put a tally on the score line. Plenty of credit certainly must be given to Reyes. Here comes Atlanta once more. Could it be a hat trick for him? Lost possession. Brennan chases it down. Brennan still with it. Lopez. Firmino is trying to be creative there. It's chipped up to him. Firmino. Now we'll play to the near side to Mejia. No problem that time for Gall. 4 minutes of stoppage time upcoming.
There will be a minimum of 4 minutes of stoppage time. 4 minutes.
Not much for Chicago to work with here. wants it back. Flag stays down. Fresh into the match. Mejia centers it. Oh, nearly a third for Atlanta. Lopez had it served up on a platter for him. And just hit it too far on the inside of the boot. Probably could have easily tapped that in with his left, and it's always easy to analyze and dissect that from the broadcast booth. Frustration for Lopez, even with the lead apparent, letting that one go. Would have been the cherry on top of this one for Atlanta United. Lopez couldn't touch that one because he was in an offside position. Teammate was making a run. Tiente earns it. Firmino to Lopez. And there's the flag. .35 combined shots in this game, 21-14 in favor of Chicago. Atlanta United, plenty of winning plays here today. Something changes here late. It will be the second time Chicago has been shut out in 3 matches since scoring 5 goals in the first 2 to begin the season. Here's a cross. Nothing could be done with it there. Cooper Sanchez will be the final sub for Atlanta United. He will enter for Eric Lopez.
Entering the match, number 48, Cooper Sanchez.
Just about a minute left here. Cooper Sanchez, 15 years old. Moment for the academy player here getting in. Does Atlanta United have one final goal left in them? Now Chicago gets back. McFadden will not have a throw. It'll be over to Chicago. Last gasps here for Chicago, here in the waning moments. A well-weighted ball. Taken away, and that is the final whistle. It's a deserved victory for Atlanta United 2. 1 point in its first 3 matches of the campaign, 6 points in its last 2. They faced a flurry and an onslaught from Chicago Fire 2, who were determined to find the back of the net, but consistently denied by the heroics of Vicente Reyes, who had himself a night in goal. And offensively for Atlanta United 2, the man of the match, no doubt about it, Nicholas Firmino, who has made headlines the last 2 weeks. He will be on the highlight reel of the league for his performance here today. It's his 2nd straight brace in league action. He took advantage of a poor clearance in the 10th minute of the match, confidently stepped up and slotted this one to the bottom right corner to start the scoring here early in the game, and then physicality in directing that corner kick into the nets. Nicholas Firmino, 2 straight games with 2 goals, and he has guided Atlanta United 2 to a 2nd consecutive victory. 2-0, your final score tonight. For our entire production crew, It's another win for Atlanta United 2-0 the final score from Fifth Third Bank Stadium here in Kennesaw. This has been a presentation of MLSNextPro.com. I'm AJ Ricketts from Kennesaw. We bid you good night.
This copyrighted broadcast of MLS Next Pro may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcasted without the express written consent of Major League Soccer.